Another kind of interaction between squares is alignment. For example, these two dark squares align horizontally. This is a very short line, but our eyes will tend to carry that line outward. In this case, it's aided by the two phantom squares on either side. It's a little easier to see in vertical alignment. Now we have a longer line. There's 4 squares involved here, and our eye easily crosses that gap, across that phantom space in between. This is the Gestalt principle of continuation, where the eye will tend to follow a line across gaps. We can also see it when we make the different square dark and then make the second different square dark. Our eye easily connects those as well. That's partly because they're the different squares on the page, and also partly because they are aligned. A line is, in many cases, a phantom. If you can picture a row of photographs hanging on a gallery wall, all lined up, and one of them is a little cockeyed, you're going to see that, even though you're not seeing a literal line. If you were to draw this grid on graph paper, you would need paper with squares the size of the smallest square, like this. So this is the true grid. So let's look now at a layout that's been built on this grid. Kind of an unusual layout, but it's good looking. It's well organized, it's well balanced, even though there are objects kind of here and there and all over. And what I'd like you to do is visualize the squares on which this layout is made. Just look at it for a moment. I know you can see this square in the upper left. That's the easy one. But did you also see this one? When you see the daisy in the square, it's pretty obvious that we're not talking mathematics here. This is art. We're not literally filling a square. And now that you've seen that, can you see the one next to it, the one filled with black? Our inclination is to say, oh, that one's empty, but it really is not empty. It's full of black. If this were a white page, you'd have to say it's full of white. And in this design, that white exerts real presence and real pressure on the layout. You can see that one. Can you see then the one on the other side? This one aligns with the name of the store. The text block is a pretty easy square to see, but did you see the gold one? This is full of gold, and next to that is a square that is full of green. And seeing those two, you can look immediately above, and it's obvious that the daisies fill 2 squares. And now that you see those ones, you can see the one to the right. Once you can see that, of course, you can see the one in the upper right. And as we drop down to the small daisy, you can now see a small square. You can see the phantom next to it, now that you know to look for it. And beneath that, another small square. So that's it. My favorite comment on the post was from a reader named Paul, who writes, I can see 6 squares. I can see more, but my brain is weary to count them all. The number of squares I feel is about 6. The 2 large ones, their intersections, the 2 smaller central ones, and it's all held together by the large boundary square. My eyes tend to ignore the gray squares as unimportant and see the blacks as more so. The interaction of squares also creates a tension that makes them stand out. And what I like about Paul's comment is that he's seeing the grid as a designer. What we feel is just as important as what we're seeing literally. And it's up to us to control that. What we've seen in this video are drawn squares, dimensional squares, phantom squares, the interactivity of squares, the alignment of squares, and in particular, the power of positive and negative space to control the look and feel of a design, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. So that's the takeaway. Once you can train your eyes to see in these new and different ways, your designs will take a big step forward.